doing this, people. So yeah, I found it. If we just look at the transfer stuff first, people, to wrap up this podcast, obviously Xhaka's kind of been eyed up in regards to returning into the squad against Southampton. Whether he'll actually be involved in any capacity is another thing. But Emery hasn't played it down, but apparently Emery wants to convince Xhaka to stay at the club and actually not leave in January. But Xhaka's had his own thoughts, and I do think some of it's probably been lost in what's the right word, translation, people, because of obviously he's speaking in his mother tongue. But he said, "I've got a clear idea as to how things should proceed. Arsenal know this as well. Although I still have a contract with the club, I'll be glad to return so we can finally sort matters out. There will surely be a solution, as I cannot accept what happened to me." Emery went on to say, people, "My objective is going to be his comeback to help us and to convince every supporter of his commitment with us, and his performances will be better and they'll be proud of him in short or long future for us. He is coming back better in his mind. His mindset is better to help us and to be closer to playing when we need him. He feels better and is also feeling that his team is Arsenal right now." So, people, that really doesn't make no sense what Emery is saying. Emery, that short and long-term future, what Emery is clearly saying is at least until January, if I can use him as a member of my side, Arsenal fans, please don't be shocked when I do that sort of thing, innit, people, because I need to bring him back into the team, or I want to bring him back into the team. And he's also geeing him up a bit, saying he's better in the mind. He thinks he'll be a better player. For what it is, I wouldn't question Xhaka's commitment. I don't think Xhaka's ever gone out there not to try his hardest. We all just know it's his consistency and his ability. I'm not going to go over the same topics, but in short, I don't feel the fans are fully justified. I don't feel Xhaka is obviously not in the right completely for his reactions. There are rights and wrongs on either side. I want to see an end to it. For me, Xhaka never plays for this team again, but if Emery wants to bring him in, he's got to do it quicker rather than later. Of course, emotion could still be quite raw and stuff, but we've had the international break, and the longer he doesn't, the longer it becomes an elephant in the room. I think the smart thing he could do, while I don't agree with it, is you bring Xhaka. If you want to play him, you have Xhaka on the bench. He's still going to get booed or jeered when his name is read out on the monitor, or if he's brought off the bench, or he's warming up and things. There are going to be these initial teething problems. But the more you put him on the bench or keep him in certain things, people, I won't say people get over it, but the less of a shock that Xhaka is in front of their eyes is the sort of angle I'm going at, people. The situation clearly will be revisited in January if it's not being worked on now. He's been linked with loan moves with obligations to buy to Inter Milan, to AC Milan. He's also been linked with Newcastle and playing with his compatriot Fabian Schär. So we'll see what happens. We need to come to a solution. I think, like you've seen with Xhaka, it's dead. It is what it is. He'll leave the club, in my opinion, as rightly should, because he's not away from this. He's just simply not good enough. I hope the club is looking for a central midfielder to bring in, people. Apparently, Journo Slasher said, and this is Daniel Cutts, I believe he works at the Sun. I don't know how reliable he is, but he's two clubs that have been linked with Lucas Torreira. Apparently, Napoli and AC Milan will both try to sign Lucas Torreira on an 18-month loan deal with an obligation to buy based on objectives being met and a number of appearances. Now, for me, I want Torreira to stay, but if he wants to leave, leave. And I don't know how true these rumours are, beyond the fact of Napoli really wanted to sign him when we were trying to sign him. And obviously AC Milan, he's got his former manager there, Desiree Gazidis there. It's very easy to kind of make Arsenal rumours and stuff like that, people. I know it's not exactly transfer news, but to go away from transfer news for a second, people, Emery's spoken in regards to turning it around at Arsenal, and he has said, asked on whether he can turn it around, he said, "I am optimistic, and I also know we need to keep better performances with the team, individually and collectively. I know how we can achieve that. First, connecting with our supporters in the Emirates, but then also not only thinking about results. We need to play better and control the game better in 90 minutes. We are winning and drawing, not losing at home, but we really are not convincing the people, the supporters. It's our first objective. I spoke to the players. Our success is going to be starting by being comfortable, strong and confident at home. We want We want to deserve to win each match. And I mean, you're talking a good game, Emery, but seeing is believing. We heard all of this in the weeks we've been going. And I've also, obviously, I'm not saying don't talk like this because this is the language Arsenal fans should see, but I also want to see the players. I'm seeing Holding and Socrates and Lacazette talk. I'm hearing Emery talk. It seems like this club, people just talk. The doing is tough, and we seem to fail when it comes to doing time and time again, like we've shown against Leicester, Palace, Wolves recently. You keep saying if we go on a win and run, this and that and this and the third, but are you the man to take us forward? I think, Emery, you've got to look at yourself before you look at the players, but we'll see, man. We need a reaction on Saturday, and if we don't win against Southampton, Emery, leave your P45 in the dressing room. Do what you heard Pochettino and his coaching staff did at the Spurs training ground or wherever. Leave a note on the whiteboard and just leave it, because you're not the man, really and truly. And it is what it is in that regards, in regards to Arsenal people, in relation to Arsenal.